But Jim, as we move on with the show, and I'm going to get to some questions shortly and some other stuff, I want to ask you about something because it's something I've talked about a little bit on the show, and now we're hearing about it from more and more listeners, mainly because people outside of wrestling are talking about this now, and it's coming back in. But this is 2024. This is the year that me and Cat Williams are going to change the world. The Rock is getting a lot of heat from fans of pop culture, not wrestling fans, from fans of movies, about his behavior. We talked about the story about his behavior on the set. But the bigger issue may be people questioning the authenticity of anything and everything Dwayne Johnson says, or tweets, or Instagrams, or whatever it may be. Have you been following any of this? Because there are videos. Let me pull this up here, because people keep sending them to me.
Well, that's what you told me about this briefly earlier, and I was not aware that there were actually people doing YouTube videos of, of The Rock prevaricating or telling mistruths or false truths or half-truths or whatever the fuck they are.
Well, here's a video about The Rock from account Penguin Z0. The name of the video, He Keeps Lying, 6.6 million views.
Jesus Christ, we got to talk to the Penguin. How the fuck does he do this?
There's another video just went up a couple days ago. The Rock's endless lies are catching up to him. Another video, there's something seriously off about The Rock.
Oh.
Another video from 2 weeks ago, 2.7 million views. The Rock is losing thousands of fans per hour. Why? So there's a whole bunch of things here. Again, well, have you been paying attention to any of this?
I didn't know about the YouTube stuff, but we've been good because our discussions about his forays into wrestling recently, we've gotten a few emails, and I got one. I had it sitting here when you mentioned that. This is, well, I can't, please keep me anonymous is in capital letters at the top of this. So I guess I can't give a name. But he heard the episode of the Drive-Thru where we were talking about the story that The Rock was pissing in water bottles on the set of movies or whatever. He says, I work in the film industry in Atlanta and was talking to someone that worked in the camera department on a few of The Rock's movies. According to this person, who has no reason to lie to me, said that during COVID, all of the crew for the movie were remaining in the bubble and could only go to set and the hotel so as not to catch COVID. And this included not allowing the crew to go home for Christmas. And that was standard with every production in entertainment at that point, including, that's pretty much why Ring of Honor shut down. They had to spend so much money, shooting in these bubbles. But the point is, The Rock broke this rule and went home for Christmas where he caught COVID and had to delay production. The guy also claimed that for The Rock's DC movie Black Adam, much of the film was shot with The Rock's stunt double, and they used CGI to replace his face. Is that possible now?
I didn't know that. That is possible. Again, I can't confirm or deny that, but it's something possible, but that seems like a lot of effort.
This fellow says, my friend also confirmed that The Rock was constantly late, many times being multiple hours late, and saying that his workouts ran long. All of this is, of course, a he shed, she shed. Backing up, all of this, of course, is a he said, she said situation. It's a sad, sad situation.
Let's stop for a second, because this is multiple things now from apparently different sources that have said this thing, that his excuse is, my workout ran long.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. He said, he said, she said, one of those situations. But seeing as it matches the things other people are claiming, I figured it might be appropriate to share these comments. The guy didn't say anything about pissing in bottles.
And then go work's drinking it. That's the weird part.
Yeah, well, some people, they get thirsty right in the middle of a movie set.
So, again, there are stories going around, but just to examine this a little bit, it seems preposterous. I've, especially in my younger days, spent a lot of time working out. I understand what it means when a workout goes a little long. Maybe you get into the run on the treadmill and you run an extra few miles. I get it.
Oh yeah, just like I've done that many times. Just said I'm going to go an extra 3 more miles.
Or maybe you have a personal trainer, and I'm sure The Rock, considering his wealth and the physique he's trying to attain, probably has a really talented well-paid personal trainer, maybe that person's running late. Or maybe they decided to introduce you to some new exercises. Or maybe the shower took longer than usual because the water pressure is a problem. There are valid excuses to be 45 minutes late or an hour late. We're talking hours late based on all these stories. How does your workout run long? How does that happen? How does your workout run 2 hours long?
Well, what about if you get to it 2 hours late? Wouldn't it then run 2 hours long? If he's late to the movie set, wouldn't he be late to the workout too? Because he's running behind.
We don't know. We don't know. This could be just his code for, I was fucking off. Every time he's doing anything that he's not supposed to do, my workout ran long. Look at me. You believe me, don't you? Look at this arm. It's a good excuse.
This arm is as big as your head.
But Jim, as I said, a lot of people are talking about his declining popularity. Apparently, he's been losing a lot of followers on social media. Again, hundreds of thousands by the hour at one point here. But some of the controversy comes around people poking holes in his personality and the fakeness or apparent or what seems like fakeness. I have an article here. This is actually from a few months ago from the New York Post, December 28, 2023, by Vanessa Cerna. Dwayne Johnson seemingly lies about eating at In-N-Out Burger for the first time. In-N-Out Burger, a famous California-based burger chain. They're not across the country. They're not here on the East Coast. It's a Los Angeles tradition, In-N-Out Burger, I guess you could say. Have you been there?
I've been to an In-N-Out Burger.
How does it rank? People rave about it. What do you think?
It was good, but I honestly can't put it above Whataburger or Smash Burger or a Home Run Burger here in Louisville. That's a local chain, not national. Or I'm trying to think of what else I wouldn't put it. Freddy's Steak Burgers. No, so it's good, but it's not, your crummy fucking run-of-the-mill Burger King, but it's not the greatest burger in the world.
Well, The Rock went there, and I'm not going to play this because it's a very loud Instagram video.
It's not Culver's either.
But it's The Rock pulling up to In-N-Out Burger. When is this from? I want to get an exact date on this, and I'm not seeing it here. This is obviously from, I guess, December of last year. My first ever In-N-Out Burger experience. And then he edited it. Again! Thanks to the fans who reminded me that I went to In-N-Out years ago and totally forgot about it. And I will explain why he had to revise this. Rolled up in my pickup and tried to be cool as fuck with my order. But I didn't know the lingo. Didn't know who to pay, where to pay. Didn't know shit. Lots of emojis all over this, like a little...
Wait a minute, how do you not know how to work a drive-thru? Are there drive-thrus remarkably differently laid out than every other drive-thru in the goddamn world? There's not a lot of variety in the drive-thrus.
No, again, I've never been to In-N-Out Burger. Is it as simple as I'll have a cheeseburger, french fries, and a milkshake? Or is it a certain lingo that if you don't get it right, you get the wrong order?
No, they have like animal style, which is like with grilled onions and something else. They have a certain lingo to them, but I would imagine also that the majority of the menu is probably posted where you're fucking sitting in your car like every other goddamn... One time up in the Northeast, I tried to order food at a McDonald's and they couldn't understand me. But I said, there's a picture of what I'm pointing to the picture behind you. I want that. So there's pictures. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, as long as there's pictures, but back to The Rock here and what was allegedly his first In-N-Out experience. But I didn't know the lingo. Didn't know who to pay, where to pay. Didn't know shit. But I'm a quick study. Loved everyone's positive vibes and their holy shit, it's The Rock energy. Loved the grub. And love how everyone in the drive-thru looked at me like I have 3 heads when I give them a tip. Thank you, In-N-Out, for being awesome. And I'll see you down the road. Hashtag cheat day. Hashtag Rock's pickup truck adventures. Hashtag In-N-Out Burger. And it appears The Rock filmed himself pulling up to the drive-thru.
I bet you that he would get to places on time if he didn't spend all his time typing with his thumbs and taking videos of himself at a fucking burger drive-thru.
Yeah, too much of his life seems to be, I'm going to show everyone I'm a normal person. I'll film myself going to the drive-thru like a normal person would. I don't know the lingo. I'll have the potato sticks and the bread with the meat. I don't know what to say. I've never done this before.
Hey, if you really want to fuck with people, pull up to a Captain D's or a Long John Silver's drive-thru and ahoy! They love that. And then whenever you order at a drive-thru window, always make sure to specify, and that's to go, please.
Well, this again was last year. In August of 2022, Johnson also documented his first time ever eating an In-N-Out burger on social media. Quote, "A cheat meal Sunday for the history books," he wrote at the time, alongside a photo of 2 burgers, fries, and bottles of his tequila. Yeah, everything's a commercial. A solid start with a bite of good fries. As we know, shitty fries can ruin the whole experience. Paired the main course with a quite delicious combo pour, and I'm not going to plug his bullshit tequila. The verdict, thumbs up. This cheeseburger connoisseur will now add In-N-Out to the list.
Okay, he's a 50-year-old man. He spent a long time in California. How do you go until this point in time without having an In-N-Out burger? And then how do you forget about it when it was for the history books, but you forgot to write it in your fucking history book because you forgot it?
Jim, have you ever been so hungry that you went to a fast food place to get your food and then you came home and plated it very nicely for a photo op?
What?
There's 2 hamburgers here. It's very neat. I'll send you this link so you can actually see the photo. But I mean, that's the thing. It's so inauthentic.
He took it home and put it all on silverware and silverware, plateware, cookware, whatever the fuck ware, cocoa-ware for all that matter.
Well,
he dressed it up like a dinner.
I just sent it to you so you could see. That's the thing. He's writing about this. Hey, I had this everyday experience like I'm a normal person. Here's a picture of it. And this looks like a staged photo.
And then he's eating the candy bar with a knife and fork.
And the pizza with a knife and fork, even more disgusting. But as we're waiting for that to come in, a few years before that, Jim.
Oh no, again?
The Black Adam star shared a selfie with employees at the fast food chain's drive-thru in February 2017. During that visit, he said he didn't order anything for himself, but instead made the late-night run for his wife and daughter. Here's a quote. "I've never been to In-N-Out Burger before. I know, what an asshole. But when my lovely ladies wanted late-night grub, I happily obliged and pulled in the drive-thru. I will return in my tux and completely destroy multiple burgers and fries to celebrate." And again, there's a photo of very, very happy people at the drive-thru who work there seeing a star who, for some reason, is taking selfies of himself at the fucking drive-thru. So that's 3 separate times he went to In-N-Out Burger.
I've got your picture, by the way. I've got your picture. It's a spotless black serving tray with a clean white plate with 2 In-N-Out burgers still wrapped in the paper that they come in, set side by side along with 2 paper schooners of French fries sitting next to a glass with 3 ice cubes in it and 2 bottles of brand tequila. That if you drank both of these bottles of tequila with this food, I don't know whether you'd shit yourself to death or puke yourself to death first. One way or another.
That is a lot of tequila. Why is there so much tequila?
I don't know that it's 2 double doubles. I could go through the burgers. I don't know if I could eat the fries. And then why are there 2 different types of tequila there? And you shouldn't mix the tequilas. It's 2 different flavors of the same brand. But yeah, there's pictures of him at every juncture of this, given the thumbs up with the drive-thru employees on his first time there 3 different times. I don't know why we need to hear about this. Do you?
And again, if you're really hungry, why would you take a photo of your food like this? Who is this for? You eat your food. You don't say, oh, everyone's got to see this.
Well, yeah, I can't believe he took this picture because the fries even look arranged well. This is not the way it came out of the fucking bag.
Hey, look at the photo. Those tequila bottles, they're two different shades. One of them's a little more. You think the other one's filled with piss? It's a little more like yellow shaded.
No, come on now.
Is that his piss bottle?
That's not the Gerwitz flavor.
The Gerwitz flavor of piss? That's not what the
well, you got to know the lingo when you're ordering this tequila.
Oh, the Gerwitz on the rocks.
Yeah, it's a regular, which is tequila, and it's the Gerwitz flavor, which is the tequila with urine. And this one's mine, and that one's urine.
Can I have the one with the lime, the Hiram? Do you have the... But again, Jim, as I said, I'm bringing this up to you because now we're getting people sending it to us who are saying they're seeing it from sources outside of like whatever they follow wrestling-wise on social media. It's becoming a thing that people who follow entertainment and celebrities are talking about. You know, at some point, if everything's fake and you need that to stop, so people stop saying everything's fake, but everything's fake, you may have a problem.
Well, that's where kayfabe comes in. See, now, if he had taken a shitty picture and made it look more realistic and remembered to write down the places, the fast food places that he pulled this scam on, then he would have been at Smash Burger or at fucking Culver's or at Freddy's Steak Burgers or at another place. He'd be doing the same thing, but you couldn't really fucking bust him for lying, just maybe for being on the take for fucking burger sponsorships.
Well, there you go. You can't believe anything you see or hear from The Rock, but we'll stay on top of the
You've
story.
been waiting for stories like this to come out, haven't you? All those years he was the hardest working man in show business. You were waiting.
All those years he was pretending he was the hardest working man in show business while other people were working a whole lot harder. Yeah. That's the thing. It's all an act. That's my whole point. It is kayfabe. This is all a performance. He is performing as Dwayne Johnson the same way he was The Rock on TV during the Attitude Era. It's treating the public like everything is a work. And I'm sure when the door closes at the end of the night, the real guy comes out. But the problem is when everything is pretentious and nothing is genuine, eventually that catches up to you. For those who say, oh, you're a Rock hater, you're jealous of The Rock. No, I just tell the truth about people that are full of shit. And that's what's going on here. And we'll see when he comes back to WWE how things go, because we've seen how it happens. He just appears and all of a sudden he takes over the show. Worked out well for WrestleMania, despite what him and Gewurz were trying to pull. But we'll see what happens in the future. It'll be interesting times.
Did his 2016 film Moana, did it win an Oscar?
I don't know, but that was a big hit. That's a cartoon.
Well, he vowed to return in his tux and destroy multiple burgers and fries if that happened.
Oh, I don't know if it did. That's a very popular
So that would have been another
kids.
Time that he'd been there.
Yeah, see, that's one of his more popular movies because he's actually not in it.
Oh.
It's just his voice.
Most people's more popular things are stuff that they're not in.
Well, Jim, we will stay on top of The Rock's in and out.
Well, you stay on top of The Rock. I'll be over here just next to him.
Oh, when's Steve Austin going to speak up? The Rock all of a sudden has pickup truck adventures? I think that's someone else's gimmick.
Well, no, Austin drives them. Rock gives them away.
Jim, we are going to get to some questions. We have a thread with almost 500 questions here on the Cult of Cornette page. I don't know how I'm going to get through.
Well, you've made me hungry now, so don't go through all 500 in one time.
Well, no, but we have a bunch of questions we're going to get through, and we're also going to talk about a couple other things here. But before we do that, Jim, with so many things to talk about, with so many burgers to film yourself purchasing, you need a good phone, you need a good phone plan, you need a good data plan. And we know where, well, maybe not The Rock, because him and Ryan Reynolds have heat, but we know where you, the listener, can get a really good phone plan from our friends at Mint Mobile.
That's right, and it is a rockless phone plan because Ryan Reynolds was chastising The Rock about his tardiness on the set. We've already talked about that story, and boy, I tell you what, that Ryan Reynolds, if he's going to chastise The Rock, he's not going to let these people at Mint Mobile jerk you around. They have the unlimited phone plan that you got to have. You can talk, you can text, you can data all over the place. You can data your ass off. $15 a month. Now, how are these other high-priced phone plans, these companies like AT&T and Amalgamated Telephone and International Telephone and Telegraph, all the big names. How in the world are they charging these outrageous prices when Mint Mobile can do it for $15 a month when you get a 3-month plan? And the answer to that is because Mint Mobile is not ripping you off. They're charging you fairly. The other people are they're pulling these prices out of their ass, ladies and gentlemen, and they're giving it to you in the same place. So drop all that stuff. All the Mint Mobile plans come with high-speed data. It is just like that. It's very quick. You ask it a question, it'll tell you the information in a heartbeat. It's got unlimited time. You cannot stop talking on these phone plans if you want to. As a matter of fact, if you ever hang this phone up, it will send you an electric shock just to remind you that your talking is supposed to be unlimited and get back on the phone.
There will be no electric shocks.
Well, it's just a little zap.
No, there's no zap.
And text. It will be delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. They're going to bring you all these texts right on a silver platter. And they'll have little bows wrapped around them. It's a very high-class operation over at Mint Mobile. That's why they talk about it like it's the Mint, because it's a license to print money, giving out phone plans this cheap. And bring your own phone number if you just make up a number. If you want the number 6427 to be your phone number, who is Mint Mobile to question you?
Well, they may not be able to facilitate every number, so let's not tell people to just pick any
it says you can bring your phone number.
If you already have an existing phone line they're talking about, not just any number you come up with.
There you go. And if you've got an existing phone line at your house right now, go outside, climb that pole, clip it, bring it down, and Mint Mobile will send your phone service through that same line. So
don't clip any lines. Again, don't do any of that.
Well, you got to be careful which one you clip.
Don't clip any. Just get
There's no electricity in the phone lines, is there?
Once again, just a phone plan right for you. Don't risk what you're clipping. It could be the wrong thing. You may be a putz, but Mint Mobile is putz proof. Just do whatever you got to do. Tell them, Jim.
Well, you can ditch overpriced wireless with Mint Mobile's limited time deal and get 3 months of premium wireless service for $15 a month. And how you do it, it's a new customer offer. If you're a new customer, if you've just been born recently, I think it's a 6-month cutoff. If you are more than 6 months old, this might not work. But you can get your new 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month if you go to mintmobile.com/JCE, mintmobile.com/JCE, and cut that wireless bill to $15 a month. Of course, at 3 months, it's $45. That's 15 times 3 is 45. These are mathematical facts that I can't change, folks. But it's new customers on the first 3-month plan only, and speeds may be slower. Above 40 GB. What does GB stand for?
Gigabytes.
Gigabytes. Speeds may be slower above 40 gigabytes on the unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply, but don't worry about that. Don't sweat the small stuff. You can see Mint Mobile for details, and they will tell you everything that you need to know. They won't tell you everything they know. mintmobile.com/JCE.